Yes, my dear students, welcome. With this video, I think we will be finishing the basics of exercise 1.6 also that I am going to give you now. Exercise 1.6 basically deals with indices, law of exponents. Exponents basically a base and a power raised to the power of something is there. It can be a raised to the power of b. Here this a is called as a base. Understand the language. The a is called as a base and the power b is actually, we call it as a power, or it is also called as index. Fine, my dear students. So this is basically how we call them, name them, and everything, all the rules regarding this is going to be taught in this exercise. The first and the most basic rule of this one is a raised to the power of m into a raised to the power of n. Means what? If same bases multiply, equal bases multiply, then what you will be doing is that we copy that base once. This base will be copied only once, and then we will have to add the two indices. Index is singular, indices is plural. So basically what we can tell is that if I have got 3 raised to the power of 5 into 3 raised to the power of 7, so this basically are same bases, 3 equal base. So, and they are multiplying with each other. When the equal bases multiply, you copy the base once and then the powers add up. This will be your answer. If you want, you can find this by multiplying 3 into 3 into 3 into 12 times. That also can be an end answer. Also, but of course, then what happens afterwards, you can increase the complexity in this way. 7 raised to the power of 5 into 7 raised to the power of minus 3. Here again the same thing will happen. You will copy the base once and then the powers will add. 5 plus minus 3, that will make 7 raised to the power of 5 minus 3, that will make 7 raised to the power of 2, 7 square, that will be 49. Fine. If basically the idea is this much only. When the bases, equal bases multiply, you have to copy the base once and the powers add up. This is the idea. Now only thing is that they can make different forms of the powers, like both are plus, one is plus, the other one is minus, both are minus. 7 raised to the power of 5 upon 2 into, this also is minus, 7 raised to the power of 3 upon 2. This also can be possible. So what will happen here, see here, now 7 is the base and powers are minus 5 upon 2 and 3 upon 2. So what will happen over here is 7 will be copied once, minus 5 upon 2 plus 3 upon 2. So this will become 7 raised to the power of, now here what happens, that now you will have to apply the rule of addition of fractions over here. Base will be copied as it is. So because here now the denominators are equal, so you just have to operate the numerators. The denominator will be copied once and you get 7 raised to the power of, this becomes minus 2 upon 2. This will become 7 raised to the power of minus 1. Fine. Of course, you have one more rule after that. We can take this. Basically, I can finish it now only, that other rule. See, now what you have got, 7 raised to the power of minus 1. Usually, you don't have to write the index in the form of minus, negative. If you want to change the power of the, if you want to change the sign of the index, then what you have to do, you have to change the place of the base. Means if base is in the numerator, shift it to the denominator. See, the base is shifted to the denominator and the sign of the power will change. If base is in the denominator, shift it to the numerator, sign of the power will change. Like in this case, now it is 7 raised to the power of minus 1. Now 7 is in the numerator. I will shift it to the denominator. It will become 1 upon 7. The moment I shift this base from numerator to denominator, the sign of the power of the base minus 1 will change. It will become 1, and that is nothing but 1 upon 7. This is one more rule. Anything a raised to the power of minus q will become 1 upon a raised to the power of q. See, it will change. Even if supposing I have got 7 raised to the power of 3 and I shift it like this 1 upon 7, then it will become minus 3. It is not that only to make minus sign. Of course, while end answer you are using, the end answer always should be written in the form of positive power. So you will always be shifting it to change the sign of the power from negative to positive. But sometimes when you are solving your question, during the process of solving, sometimes you just have to move. Supposing if I have got 3 raised to the power of 4 upon 3 raised to the power of 2. Actually, this can be solved in multiple ways, but still what I will do, now if I want this, there is another easier law to apply, but still I am just showing you. If I shift this 3, which is 3 square, if I shift this base up, 3 raised to the power of 4, it will shift up, it is dividing, it will become multiplied by 3. Now this 2 will change its power, it will become minus 2. So this will become now what? Now this will come into picture. So this will become what now? Here you will write a raised to the power of minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to the power of m. This rule is been applied here. So this will become 3 raised to the power of 4 plus minus 2. Here the rule is a raised to the power of m into b raised to the power of n is equal to a raised to the power of m plus n. This will become 3 raised to the power of 4 minus 2. This will become 3 raised to the power of 2. This will be 9. Fine. So basically we have understood these two rules. A raised to the power of m into n is going to be equal to a raised to the power of m plus n. When equal bases multiply, the powers add up. And when you change the place of the base from numerator to denominator or from denominator to numerator, the sign of the power changes. Remember, the base power will remain same. If it is minus 5 raised to the power of 2, now if I change the place of the base, I am changing the place of the base means minus 5, I am changing the place. I am changing the place of the base means minus 5 will remain still minus 5. And the sign of the power will change. Remember, it will become like this. This we never do, we don't have to do, but if supposing if I apply that rule that I am going to change the place of the base, then sign of the base you will not touch that sign. Whatever is the sign of the base, that will remain same. You will only change the sign of the power. Are you getting? So these are the rules that we have understood by now. Up to now we have understood when equal bases multiply, then you copy the base once and the powers add up. And similarly, when equal bases divide, you can write it in any form, or a raised to the power of m upon a raised to the power of n. They can be written in this form, actual division sign, or they can be written in fraction form. Then what happens? You copy the base once and the powers subtract. Remember here, the first power should be written first and the second power should be written second. The numerator power will be written first, the denominator power will be written afterwards. You can't change this order, otherwise again the meaning changes. Okay, so this is the case. So in this case what happens, if supposing I have got 3 raised to the power of 5 divided by 3 raised to the power of 2. So this will become, they are dividing, equal bases are dividing. So same base you will copy once and then you will subtract the powers. This will become 3 cube, that will become 27. Fine. So this is what is going to happen every now and then. These rules are very easy to understand. We have understood first one, we have understood second one. Of course, we have also understood a raised to the power of minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to the power of n. This is the third one. Now the fourth one is actually speaking, if supposing there is a base and an index and they are in a bracket, you can write it in this form also, b raised to the power of n. They are different bases, but there is a bracket, whole bracket, and there is a power outside the bracket. Now when you will open this bracket, the outer power will multiply with each and every inner power. That will become a raised to the power of mx into b raised to the power of nx. The outer power will multiply with each and every inner power. Even if it is like this, a raised to the power of m into b raised to the power of n upon c raised to the power of o. It's very unusual. Raised to the power of whole raised to the power of x. Now this outer power will multiply with each and every inner power. Of course, but only if there is a multiplication sign over here. Remember this. This is applicable only for monomials. This is not applicable for binomials. Remember this. So here only if there is a multiplication or division sign, then the outer power will go on multiplying with each and every inner power. So this will become a raised to the power of mx into b raised to the power of nx upon c raised to the power of ox. Understood? This is not going to be applicable if supposing it is a plus a raised to the power of m plus b raised to the power of n raised to the power of x. Now you can't multiply this. For plus and minus, these rules don't apply. For this, you will have to go by indices, the expansion rules only, in identities. A plus b the whole square is equal to what? And all. Even if we have a square minus b cube whole square, still you will have to go by the expansion formula, a square minus 2ab plus b square only over here. So this will become a raised to the power of a square whole square minus 2 a square b cube plus b cube square. Like this only you will have to go if there is a plus and minus sign in between. So this will become a raised to the power of b minus 2 a square b cube plus b raised to the power of 6. This is the only way whenever there is a minus or plus sign and then there is a whole square or any other index, all, whether this is the whole square, whether this is a whole cube, they all have separate different expansion formulas which you will have to apply over here. Only when there is a multiplication sign, then the outer power will multiply with each and every inner power. Okay, my dear students. So similarly, we can take some examples now to solve. Supposing if I have got 17 square into 17 raised to the power of 5. So because here I'll write it. Since a raised to the power of m into a raised to the power of n is equal to a raised to the power of m plus n. Therefore, 17 raised to the power of 2 plus 5. This is what we'll get. Therefore, we get, this is what we'll get, 17 raised to the power of 7. That's all. Don't go to multiply. Otherwise, you'll have to go multiplying 17 7 times. So now the other one is 5 square into whole bracket 7. So here what will happen when there is a raised to the power of m and then bracket n. So this becomes what? A raised to the power of m, and the outer power will multiply with inner power, each and every inner power. So 5 2 into 7, so this will give you 5 raised to the power of 14. Hope you all are getting what I am doing. Fine. You have to understand which rule you are going to apply now. 23 raised to the power of 10 upon 23 raised to the power of 7. This will give you what? 23. Same bases are dividing. So you will copy the base once and you will subtract the powers. This is by which rule? A raised to the power of m divided by a raised to the power of n is going to be equal to a raised to the power of m minus n. So you get 23 raised to the power of 3. Fine. These are the rules. Now see here. Now this is 7 cube into 9 cube. Now have a look at this, student. What will you go to do over here? How will you solve this? See, basically these are unequal bases. So now you can't apply the rule of a raised to the power of m into a raised to the power of n. Equal bases multiplying each other, you can't apply over here. But you can do one thing. Instead of applying this to open the bracket, you can form the bracket. Take constant power. Are you getting common power? Not constant, sorry, common power. See here, 3 is the power for both 7 and 9. So it is a common power. So I can take that common power outside the bracket. Are you getting my point? Because a raised to the power of m into n is equal to a raised to the power of m n. I am going reverse. I can, after opening the bracket, the outer power will multiply with each and every inner power. Similarly, while forming the bracket, all the common powers will go outside the bracket. So this will become 7 9s are 63 cube. This will be your answer. So these are the ways that you have to frame them, that you have to answer them. Many questions will be there. Let me solve as many as possible so that you get enough. Now supposing I have got 17 raised to the power of 2 into 17 raised to the power of minus 5. So here what I will get, equal bases are multiplying with each other, the powers will add up. Because a raised to the power of m into a raised to the power of n is equal to a raised to the power of m plus n. So now what will this become? 2 minus 5. This will become 17 raised to the power of minus 3. Now, but I am not supposed to write answer with negative power. So this will become 1 upon 17 cube. Because a raised to the power of minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to the power of positive m. Okay, my dear students. So similarly, now this also is there. 5 square raised to the power of 7. This will become 5 raised to the power of 2 into 7, because a raised to the power of m raised to the power of n will give you a raised to the power of mn. So similarly, this will become 5 raised to the power of 14. Fine. Now what more do we have like this? Of course, there are many questions. This will keep on happening. 5 square into raised to the minus 7. So here also same thing. A raised to the power of m. This will be outer power multiplying with inner power. So you get 5 raised to the power of 2 into minus 7. This will give you 5 raised to the power of minus 14. Then I will have to shift it to make it plus 14. Okay. I hope you all are getting this. Maybe there are some more examples. I will keep on solving, because I don't want that any example is coming to you which you are unable to understand. I will just finish up these all solved examples. Now look at this. 23 raised to the power of minus 10 upon 23 raised to the power of 7. So here we have to do the same thing. Again and again do the same mistake. You have to do the same thing. The equal powers, they are dividing with each other. So remember, the numerator will be written first and the denominator will be written afterwards. So basically a raised to the power of m divided by a raised to the power of n is equal to a raised to the power of m minus n. So this will become 23 raised to the power of minus 17, and afterwards it will become 1 upon 23 raised to the power of 17, because a raised to the power of minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to the power of m. When you change the place of the base, the sign of the power changes. Okay, fine. So similarly, we have got 2 raised to the power of 2 upon 3 into 2 raised to the power of 1 upon 3. Here again I will apply the same rule. A raised to the power of m into a raised to the power of n is going to be equal to a raised to the power of m plus n. So this will become 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 2 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3. So now I have to solve this part. In this part, fractions are getting added. Suddenly the algebra is coming into picture. Equal denominators, so directly the numerators will add up. 2 plus 1. So this will become 2 raised to the power of 3 upon 3, then this will become 2 raised to the power of 1. That's over. Okay, my dear students. Now coming to the 2-3 questions more. 3 raised to the power of 1 upon 5 whole raised to the power of 4. So here what will happen, a raised to the power of m bracket n will give you a raised to the power of mn. The outer power will multiply with inner power, it will become 3 raised to the power of 1 upon 5 into 4. 3 raised, now here the numerator will multiply by numerator, denominator with denominator, I will get 4 upon 5. Fine, this is my final answer. Similarly, if I have got 7 raised to the power of 1 upon 5 upon 7 raised to the power of 1 upon 3. So what will happen, again this equal bases, they are dividing. So the powers numerator, power of numerator minus power of denominator. Reason is same again, a raised to the power of m divided by a raised to the power of n is equal to a raised to the power of m minus n. Here now you will see the denominators are different. So I will have to cross multiply. 1 3s are 3 minus 5 1s are 5 upon 3 5s are 15. So what do I get over here is 7 raised to the power of, I will continue over here. What do I get over here is 7 raised to the power of 3 minus 5 minus 2 upon 15. Now what I will have to do, this I cannot write it in negative power form. So this I will write 1 upon 7 raised to the power of 2 upon 15. A raised to the power of minus m is equal to 1 upon a raised to the power of m. Fine. I hope you all are understanding this. So with this, our basics of this one is over. We can think about solving the examples. You can give it a try. Of course, the basics that they have given to solve are slightly different. And the solutions that they have given are slightly different. I'll do one thing, but these are the rules that you are going to apply on this. We'll soon solve exercise 1.6. Get ready for that. Okay, dear students, thank you. See you all soon. Bye bye. Take care.